STAKK Nation, welcome back to the channel.
Champions.
Yes. In today's video, there is a risk which we are not certain of, but we would like to have it addressed. What am I talking about? The IMF says El Salvador's Bitcoin risk may have not materialized, but it should be addressed. Let me share screen. I think this is a good one to go over, and I think we're interested in this one as well because this is something that we've been seeing unfold before our own eyes from the very point where El Salvador decided to make Bitcoin legal tender to the point where we are now, where they continue to buy Bitcoin, paying off debt to the IMF. Yet, the IMF thinks that this is a risk, even though El Salvador has now also been blocked. But let's read a bit of this, and then we'll dive into the analytics of the analytical situation. February 10th. This piece here is from, how do you pronounce this? Is this Reuters or Routers?
Routers.
Right, some people call it Reuters. Some people call it Reuters.
Let's go.
Yeah, I should stop.
Routers.
The direction that is going in, you guys don't want to know. This one is by Brendan O'Boyle.
Oh boy.
February 10th.
Oh boy.
Risk over El Salvador's Bitcoin or embrace of Bitcoin have not materialized, but the use of cryptocurrency still requires transparency and attention, the International Monetary Fund said on Friday in a statement after a visit to the Central American country. Now, given the legal risk, fiscal fragility, and largely speculative nature of crypto markets, I just want to highlight that. We'll come back to it, right? You got to double up.
Got it.
Crypto markets. The authorities should reconsider their plans to expand government exposures to Bitcoin, the IMF said.
Reconsider.
They should reconsider because there is unmaterialized risk, which they predicted since, 2020?
Yeah.
It's been multiple years going now. And just one more thing I'll add here because I don't want to...
I want to go back to that sentence.
You want to go back to that sentence?
Yeah,
okay. I was going to knock this one, so we'll have to come back to the article. But let's roll back. Go for it.
That sentence, right? We're doing the analysis of the analytical response
Situation.
from the Routers, right?
Yeah.
So when you read that sentence, right?
Yeah.
Legal risk stands out, right? Fragility stands out. Largely speculative stand out. Crypto markets stands out.
Yes.
Now they have the authorities, right? Reconsider.
Yes.
Are they warning you? Are they going to just come with the weapons?
They're telling you to reconsider.
Exposure to Bitcoin stands out. And of course, this is all coming from the IMF. Now, let's use ChatGPT. If you were to put this in ChatGPT, what do you think ChatGPT will tell you?
Which part? All of it?
All those keywords.
If you put those keywords in there.
They are warning you.
Well,
kind of like how they warn those African countries.
Yeah, I think ChatGPT will probably say something like, if you don't change, then these guys are telling you to reconsider because they are thinking of ways to take your ass down, and so on and so forth. But much more eloquently than I said it, possibly.
Yeah.
What do you think you say?
This is a nice way of saying it.
Yeah.
Like, we are warning you
Exactly.
to change your ways.
However, I think that they are backing up the wrong tree this time around. Because while they've been able to do this type of things in the past, Bitcoin is putting, at least, at the same time, El Salvador is all an experiment at this point in time. But I think that it is putting them outside of the reach of these entities.
I would say more.
Okay.
I would say that the IMF is modern day economic, instead of the colonization and slavery, it's economic colonization or economic slavery. Here's why I say that. I've been in the aviation industry for a while. I spent almost a decade in there when I was in the startup with Green Africa Airways.
Yeah.
And the question I had to myself is, where do every single airline have to fly through Europe or Asia when sometimes it's even faster to travel through South America? South America and Africa is
Are
heavily
closer, aren't they?
and is heavily dependent on the European Union or the G20 or whatever they want to call themselves. They've built this economic power up in Europe. And Dubai is fighting back on that too, by the way. That everything
The
has to
BRICS
literally go
nations,
there.
right? BRICS nations, yeah.
So when you look deep into this, they don't want you to be free from the IMF. This is a fact.
Yeah.
Because if you get your freedom from the IMF, it's no good for
The
Europe.
IMF is useless. Because technically, what does the IMF do?
Look at South America. Look at Africa. They are suffering.
Yeah.
And these are the same folks that take money from the IMF in the name of, oh, we're going to make you better.
Yeah.
Now you have a country that says, you know what, let's give ourselves a chance on a new monetary system without you borrowing us money, and you have a problem with it.
This is true.
Just breaking that down.
The international, I totally, that is a perspective that I do not even dive that deeper into it, because when I look at these things, I'm always just kind of, I think sometimes I look too forward, as in, this is what Bitcoin is doing now. Let's find out what you guys are going to do about it. But when you go back and you really break it down, I think that is a really, really good analysis of this whole
International
situation
Monetary Fund, but they're keeping Africa
yeah.
and South America away from it.
They're keeping everyone.
They rather use
down.
your resources and not partner with you.
Yeah.
Then
Well, we've seen just from their practices, right? They borrow you money that you cannot pay back.
pay back.
Then they come in and start taking control of resources in your country as payback for
Not paying
the
along
money which they gave you. Which who knows where did they get this money from?
It's printed money. It's
printed
printed
money,
It's printed
right?
fake money to take out real resources, and they ensure that you have bad leadership
Exactly.
so that they can easily take those resources out.
Because it is strange that there is just this international monetary fund that just happens to have so much money that they can help every country. But we've not seen the work that these people did to get. If you look at someone like Warren Buffett, right? As much as we give him crap, you're like, well, how did this guy make all of this money? If you look at Tesla, well, how did this guy make all this money? Well, he created vehicles. He created value in people's lives and so on and so forth.
Yep.
As a result, he has been rewarded massively for that by society, by people investing in his company, buying his vehicles, and so on and so forth.
There is proof of work behind that money.
Thank you. There we go.
You were saying Warren Buffett earlier, and this is one of the reasons why I think Warren Buffett and his buddy, Charlie Munger, are fighting against Bitcoin, because the Hathaway Fund has some serious proof of work behind it.
Yes.
But single people like you and I cannot go and buy one fund. That thing is expensive.
We cannot.
So Bitcoin brings a challenge to that too, by the way. And the other one that.
Look, man, Bitcoin is battling people on many different fronts. Some of them are just trying to hang on, and some of them are trying to straight up take it out.
Yep.
But here's an interesting thing. El Salvador. Well, before I even get to the fact that El Salvador has been paying back these loans, I think when you see these articles, I don't know if the people, who write some of these articles are incentivized. There's a lot of that happening already. But at the same time, it's like, when I say I don't know if, it's because when you look at some of these articles, you're not really sure if they are just trying to give you what was said, or if these people are,
What if I told you that in the aviation industry, we pay news articles?
Oh, to put out,
put out articles.
Actually, that is happening. But here's the point I'm driving at anyway. They're doing, I guess these people are magicians, because they're using something called misdirection. This is something that is very common. Magicians know this, right? Misdirection. They use wordplay. They use sounds and other forms of distraction, right, to have you looking in a different direction while they're doing something on the side, right? So they keep interchanging this word Bitcoin and crypto to confuse people. So they are using the chaos and madness that is going on in the unregulated crypto space, which is not
FTX,
decentralized,
Terra Luna.
right? And they're using it as a way to prove a point that Bitcoin is risky. However, Bitcoin is not crypto as we see it unfolding, right? It is not all those other coins with all the chaotic things that are happening there. At the same time, we see that El Salvador, since they have been blocked from accessing resources from any more funds from the IMF, they have paid over $600 million, right, to the IMF.
$600 million.
So if these people are paying your money and you are seeing no risk being materialized, and you cannot list the risk that you're specifically talking about, because as an entity as such, right, you should be able to elaborate, right, or enumerate the various risks that you see coming to this country as a result of their engagement in Bitcoin. We don't see that. But you want to address these issues that, no one knows what it is exactly. How do they plan to do that? Other than that, you're just losing power. And this is a struggle to grab onto something.
The IMF use of risk reminds me of something.
What's
This might show my age too, by the way.
I
Do you guys remember Donald Rumsfeld back in the Iraq War?
Donald Rumsfeld.
There are unknown risk.
Unknowns.
If they're unknown, right? This is how they, they got a chance to go blow up Iraq.
Which is the most insane thing. It is true that there are unknowns, but you cannot take action on unknowns.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what the unknown is.
Risk management does not say that you take action on unknowns.
Yeah.
You have to identify the risk.
Yeah.
To create.
At least identify the initial risk. Then tell that there are other unknowns on top of that risk. But right now there is just none.
It only gives you a reason to go blow up a bunch of people for no damn reason. They didn't have any nuclear weapons. And in this case, El Salvador is not going to destroy the world economy if they don't take your money or if they use Bitcoin. So why do you care so much about which monetary system they want to use? Why is that a risk to you?
Strong question.
They're paying back their loan, by the way.
Exactly.
You know what I find interesting too? Right after that statement, there's a section in this article that said latest updates. And they threw in a bunch of FUD. Like FUD after FUD. In my screen here, I'm not sure if you can see it on your side. Yeah.
Latest update.
Latest update. Perfect location for FUD upon FUD.
In the middle of the article. They didn't even let the article finish.
No, like literally.
Okay, Reuters, I was trying to give you benefit of doubt, but you guys are mad. This is insane. G20 exploring cryptocurrency regulation. Indian finance minister says PayPal pauses stablecoin work amid regulatory scrutiny of crypto. Fed's Waller says crypto is risky.
See, crypto. They
what
threw
is
all
staking?
the FUD.
Yes,
Right there.
Cryptocurrency price in regulators' crosshairs.
Notice the perfect location of that?
They did not use Bitcoin even once because
Not
look,
once.
El Salvador is not investing in cryptocurrencies,
Exactly.
man. They're investing in Bitcoin and Bitcoin specifically. So let's talk about Bitcoin. I don't want to talk about crypto. I don't care. It's not. This is not the subject at hand here. We're talking about Bitcoin.
Fact, there was an article last week about them creating a stable coin, but guess what? Not based on fiat, based on their Bitcoin. What's that? The energy
Bitcoin
project?
reserve?
Yeah, the Bitcoin reserve.
Look, this is exactly what I was saying in that other video, right? A lot of these things are a distraction from the main goal. This is social engineering, by the way. Manipulating people,
Master of FUD.
engaging people's emotions to get a response out of them, and driving their emotions, right? And having them respond in a direction that is beneficial to you. So
And Instagram's gonna turn around and ban us
for
telling the truth. I don't get it.
Instagram banned us, man.
Like, we are trying to tell people to analyze, understand the data that they get it, and just don't read and just accept.
And the crazy thing about it is, I don't even know how to reach out to them because I'm not able to sign into their account anymore.
There's no customer service, nothing.
But they
Can't
have
reach out
customer
anybody.
service though, because you know, if you've noticed, when it's some other very famous people, they have a way to reach out to Instagram. I don't know how. You know, maybe there's like a random email somewhere. Maybe we can Google Instagram's email or something. But you know, they said we were banned for violating their community guidelines. Right? Let me look at it again. And I don't think they specified which video it was. Which, look, man, Instagram, you've opened yourself to a lot of speculation. I get it. You guys may never see this video, but it's going to be out here, just so that we are clear on this. Since you do not specify, you open yourself to whatever speculation that we may conjure up in our mind because we're not even sure what happens. So it says, we suspended your account on the 8th of February. Oh, they suspended us. Where's the place to we disagreed, right? Yeah. And they do not tell us. What does this mean? Your account does not follow our community guidelines. If we can't confirm your account, it will be permanently disabled. This account isn't visible to people on Instagram at the moment, and you can see it. Why? Because we verified everything, man. Our email address was there. Our phone number was there. Was nothing wrong with our account. This account has been operational since 2020.
Instagram is doing IMF type shit.
Yes. Listen, Instagram, I understand that you're a private company, but you should also understand that this does not look good because it says that you support authoritarianism.
Yep.
We'll combine you like that.
Like the IMF.
That is how you woke people do it, right? So that is all. Any final thoughts you have before we wrap this one up here?
Bitcoin is about having your own sovereign power and not being colonized financially.
Yeah.
Those days are over. People are more enlightened these days. And we believe that Bitcoin, mathematical equations, is a better way to go forward with money instead of some trusted human beings or some unhired, non voted for powers that control economies around the world. So yeah, definitely continue to follow us, watch our videos. This is what we bring to you guys, man. Further analysis of what's out there.
Freedom is in our future with Bitcoin.
Yes, sir.
Follow us on YouTube here, of course. Subscribe. Share the videos with your friends. We are also on Twitter, STAKK. Shout out to Elon, man, for letting the floodgates open so that degenerates like us can come in and just let people know how we truly feel without censorship. But, there's still a little bit of censorship there.
It needs to be.
Maybe not as heavy as Facebook and Instagram, where we have now been banned. It just made me realize that there are people who actually spew hate speech on Instagram and they have not been banned. Like some of these people that are protesting, all this woke shit, right? People were out rioting. People were extreme feminists. There's a lot of feminists on Instagram who clearly hate men and say a lot of very hateful things towards men. I understand that our society these days is going in the direction where they want men to be silent.
Hey, they took Tate out.
But those things that these feminists are saying, these extreme feminists on Instagram are saying, are a direct violation of Instagram's community guidelines. I don't see how talking about Bitcoin and the oppression of people in Africa is against the Instagram community guidelines. I just want to point that out.
Unless maybe Instagram doesn't like Africans.
I mean, that is a good question. And it is a fair question because Instagram did not define clearly to us why they suspended our account. So, in that light, we are allowed to speculate.
Speculation.
And speculate to the fucking moon we will.
To the moon!
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, brazen out.
Double O.